So at Riverbend High School, we'll be hosting our first home scrimmage for the Riverbend boys soccer. But what we're doing this year, we wanted to try something new, and we want to support our homeless population. You know, that's been a passion of mine for years and years. In fact, I was in the inception phase of this when we realized our social workers were really going above and beyond, and we didn't feel like they had support, and the community really rallied around them, and we have developed a great rapport with them, and they started the Treasure House, as you know, which is a place where you can bring items that we donate to give to students who are in our McKinney-Vento program, and they're homeless, which means they're either truly homeless, possibly under a bridge, a shelter, a hotel, or doubled up with a family member. And it is amazing what our community does, but unfortunately, we don't get the word out enough for donations. So what we decided to do at the Riverbend Boys Soccer this year was to do the first kickoff game, which is a real popular sort of rivalry between Chancellor and Riverbend, that we make it a donation drive for Treasure House. So we've really been pushing it at Riverbend. We've really been pushing it at Chancellor. And what I like about it is you find that the head coaches, although we're rivals, they really do blend and bond together when we're doing something for the community. And so tomorrow night, we're starting early, the JV game. We'll start collecting donations. We have sent out flyers with a list of what the needs are right now. We're working hand in hand with Michelle Swisher, who is the lead social worker for this, and she is having the local social workers for Riverbend and Chancellor attend and help us gather donations, and they will be honored as the honorees to do the coin toss tomorrow night. It's all about our homeless population.
Wow. And what a way to teach the community about what's needed and what Treasure House does.
I love you said that, because that's exactly what my thought was when I'm the president of our Soccer Boys Booster. And when the team and I talked about it, we all agreed, what a great thing. Because as a booster president, what do? We ask for money and fundraisers all the time.
All the time.
We're an organization, though, that can show that even though we're begging for money to support us, we can turn around and give back to the community. And one way to do it is an event that brings out the community with excitement and say, okay, we're all here. Let's talk about what's going on in the community that's not so pretty and something that needs help. What a great way to do it, I thought. And sure enough, when we brought it to the coach and the school, everyone's been so supportive, and we're excited. The goal is to make it a tradition. This is the first one.
Yeah. Well, and Treasure House does so much. There are so many, and over the years, you mentioned Michelle Swisher, and over the years, you have talked about how homeless students are all around us. A lot of times we don't know about it.
I tell this story. I'm sure I've told it here on this show before, but I'm going to tell it again because the thing about homeless students we need to remember, when I was talking about it, 17 years ago, we have a new generation of parents, a new generation of children that need to be reminded it's still going on. So I remember years ago that I had a friend, and this was at Massaponax, that came to me. She knew I was a passionate advocate for this, and she said, Amanda, my son came out of football practice, had a friend, we'll take him home, and they ended up driving to a hotel, and she was floored. And I say this all the time, if you have a child in Spotsylvania County schools, they're going to school with someone who is suffering from homelessness right now, and they have a need. The one reason you don't know it is we do a really good job in Spotsylvania County. When I say we, our social workers, not Amanda, social workers do a great job of making sure they have backpacks, they have supplies, but people forget you need underwear, toilet paper, crock pots to cook, because if you're in a hotel, you can't make a good meal, and that's a great way they get a hot meal at night. You need feminine napkins for young girls. You need prom dresses that your child has already worn, doesn't need. Give an opportunity for a homeless student to wear that prom dress and look beautiful and enjoy their night. We need toothbrushes, toothpaste, we need mouthwash, things that you and I use every day, our feminine hygiene, all of the things that we're lacking right now, we have got to replenish at the Treasure House, because if not, who is going to support these homeless students? And if you think about your student going into school, if you're a parent, how do they feel every morning? They feel safe, they feel secure, they have what they need. We want every child to have that. Every child deserves that. Every child.
And that's why this soccer game on Thursday night is so important.
Yes.
You can drop those things off.
Exactly. And even in the position of other entities in our community that are a soccer booster president, there is a way to highlight this, and we want to make sure that everyone who enjoys this game, and we're all yelling for our team, remembers that there is a bigger need. And when we take these donations, it's really going to make a difference for the Treasure House, and I'm excited for that.
And if you can't make it on Thursday night, you can always drop things off at the school board office.
That's right.
Or even over at Massaponax High School at Treasure House.
Yeah, the Treasure House is located behind Massaponax High School, and they take donations, and you can drop it off at the school board office. We're hoping everybody brings the things we have on the list. We did work with the social workers to make sure we had the current needs, because sometimes they're low on some things, and I've mentioned the things they're really low on right now. And we're all going to shop. And another thing you can do, let's say you don't have time to go to the store, please make a donation to Treasure House. We'll also take your donations, and 100% goes back to the Treasure House.
All these years, Treasure House is really a jewel, and this is a way to This is a way to keep it supplied.
You know, something to point out. The other night we had our parent meeting at the Booster Club, and I asked, raise your hand if you're familiar with the Treasure House. And one person raised their hand. And it's not right. I said, that's my point. It's not that they don't want to know. This is a new generation of parents. There are parents I've never met. Their children are younger than mine now. So you've got to keep educating this community, or what will happen is we will be back where we were 20 years ago, where these kids have nothing and they're not succeeding, and some of them are even dropping out. We never see them back in our school. So we're not going to get there. We're not doing that.
That is so interesting, though, Amanda, just to think about that. And it goes with other things, but especially with Treasure House, you may know about it, but after 4 years, when you move on, there's a whole new group that comes in.
Yes, and it took me growing through this community to really realize that. And that's why I asked that question the other night. And the one that raised their hand came to me after, and she worked with the social workers. So she knows. She knew. But she's in the depths of it. She was in the trenches. But the average parent doesn't realize that their child is, and I sort of did a spill at, the meeting the other night. I was going, do you know your children sit by someone homeless? Because I don't think we know that.
No.
And I think we, sometimes it's very easy, because life is so busy and it's so hectic and times are hard for people, that we forget that sometimes the best feeling in the world is just giving back.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. And we're going to make tomorrow night very special. And again, this is our first annual. It won't be the last. And I'll be gone, in a couple years. But there'll be somebody here still saying this. And that's what we need.
Yeah, let's keep doing this.
Keep doing this.